And hello, and welcome back.
Howdy, listeners.
Welcome, unpretentious
Hey,
people. See, I changed it this time. They're unpretentious people. Which is different than being humble.
I don't
think.
like either of them.
I know, because you're pretentious.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm Paul.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeremy.
Yeah, you are. All right. And this is episode 18. I hesitate to say that because it's probably going to be one of those things where we take down old episodes.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it'd be like, wait, what happened to episodes 1 through 17?
The lost episodes.
The lost episodes, that's right. We can cut them and put them in later. Anyway, so...
The NSA can watch them all they want.
Yeah, we're continuing Spyro. We're still in the first one. Spyro the Dragon. And I can't remember if I finished this world or not.
You did. You did.
Okay, so I can move on to other worlds?
Yep, you did.
Wait, okay, yeah. Oh, and I already did Dry Canyon. Okay, so I can move on to another.
Yay.
Okay, so I can move on to Clifftown. Okay. So
So
I know we have a whole bunch of stories. And first of all, if you're here and you're watching us from when you subscribe to us after our Star Trek episode 1 review, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. We have lots of stories to cover today, but I have a small rant first.
Hit it, baby. Go.
So I got-
Go.
So I got a new phone.
Okay.
I got a Pixel 3.
Good. Want
I
to
know
has.
you want one. I know you want one.
Yeah.
Uh,
You don't like.
okay, I have so many. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. It's not my first Pixel phone.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know what the hell Google is doing with design. What the hell is going on with this guy? Screw you, buddy. What the hell? How do I kill this guy? I forgot. Maybe I have to charge him. Anyway.
They're rapists. They're bringing crime. And some, I assume, are good people.
This guy is just going around stabbing people. That's why we need the wall, apparently. Okay. Anyway. Can I? Oh, yeah. There you go. I have to charge him. Okay. So anyway. So I got the Pixel 3. And here's my problem. I don't know what the hell Google's designers are doing. And by this, I mean hardware designers. Okay. From a software perspective, I feel like the Pixel 3 is decent. I have problems with their new multitasking thing. The new home buttons and all that stuff, and with the stupid gesture controls. But other than that, like, okay, Google's a software company. They can still do software. This hardware, whoever designed it was fucking drunk. Okay?
Okay.
So let me start with the first problem. Okay. Now, I didn't get the Pixel 3 XL, and I'm normally a big phone kind of person. So if you don't know me, and none of you do know me, except for Jason and
I know
Jeremy.
you.
But nobody listening knows me.
You don't know me, bitch.
Yeah, you don't know me. I'm a phone guy, and I go through lots of phones, and I always have more than one phone. And I generally always have one iPhone and then at least one Android phone, right? And I switch between them pretty regularly. It's a thing. And here's the problem. I generally get big phones. So I had a Pixel XL. I had like a Galaxy Note. My current iPhone is the iPhone XS Max. So, you know, big phones are for me. So why didn't I get the Pixel 3 XL? Have you seen the Pixel 3 XL?
I need you to tell me what's wrong with the hardware.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. So the Pixel 3 XL is fugly as hell.
Ah.
Okay, with that notch. Okay, so here's the thing.
That's the big one, though.
That's the big one.
I don't want the big one. The big
But
one's stupid.
it's got that big giant stupid notch in it.
Why
Here's
do
the
you
thing.
need a big one?
Well, I like big phones. I like big phones.
Lame.
And I don't think you realize just how. I mean, you can see it. You can hold it. The Pixel 3 is kind of small.
Yeah.
You can hold it. It's kind of small. So, but the Pixel 3 XL is so stupid is that notch, and I don't have a problem with notches, obviously, because my last two phones that I switch between are the iPhone 10. So the last year and a half, the three phones that I've used are the iPhone 10, the iPhone XS Max, and the OnePlus 6. All have notches. Okay. The phone that you have, the Essential phone, I gave to you.
Yes.
That was the first phone with a notch, and I pre-ordered it. I have no problem with notches. But the notch on the Pixel 3 XL is ridiculous. And more importantly, it's so big, and they still put a huge gargantuan chin on it. So the area below... Oh, crap. The area below the screen is giant. It's got a giant bezel below the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole thing looks off balance. Because there's nothing at the top, and then there's this giant thing at bezel on the bottom. And I'm like, What are we doing? It looks like a drunk person designed it. Okay, so I got the Pixel 3 instead because I was like, okay, it doesn't have a notch. It's got big bezels, but the bezels on the top and bottom are the same size, so it's symmetrical, and I much prefer that, right? And I get it, and what do I find out? Oh, the bezels on the top and bottom actually aren't symmetrical.
No joke.
The bezel on the top is bigger than it is on the bottom.
Huh.
And I never noticed that in pictures before I bought it, before I had it in my hand, and now I can't unsee it, and it's driving me crazy. I cannot stand it. And I just want to, again, reiterate, what the hell are Google engineers thinking? I don't know what they're doing.
They aren't.
Apparently. Who thought this was a good idea?
So tell
Their
me,
scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think.
Exactly.
so what? Tell me how it makes you feel, Paul.
It makes me feel sad
Okay.
because they could do so much better, and they're just not. It's someone not reaching their potential.
Okay.
Google has more money than God. So Apple has way more money than God because Apple has more money than Google. But anyway, they have lots of money, right? Like, you could do such a better job, guys. Like, what designers are you hiring? And why? Who thought this? Who approved this? Who approved it? I want to know. I want names.
Jeremy Smotherman.
Oh, I mean, it's Sundar Pichai, right? That's who it is, the CEO of Google. But either way, Sundar, what are you doing? Get on your shit. That's my rant.
It certainly was.
They have software. They have their software going, but God, the hardware. And then the corners of the screen are rounded because that's like the in thing now. Which, okay, when you have a notch and you have really slim bezels, I get, like, that's the thing you do. You make the screen rounded. But the Pixel 3 doesn't have a notch. It has bezels. There's no reason to round the corners, but you did it anyway. And even worse, they round the corners in software worse than it is in hardware. So when you turn on the phone, it's got like really small, like a really tight radius at the corners.
I swear you missed some back there.
Yeah, I've missed some.
Okay.
It's got a really tight radius at the corners, and then in software they turn off some of the pixels to make the radius bigger. So it's a bigger curve, and it cuts off more of the screen.
Are we still talking about this phone?
Yes. Because
Oh my
it's
God.
driving me what are they doing?
Oh,
What are they doing?
don't make me break promises, Paul.
What promise?
I'm joking.
What promise?
Paul asked me not to tell him
How to get out of a topic.
how to get out of a topic.
It makes. I mean, you can do it. It makes you sound pretentious.
That's
all I'm
fair.
saying.
That's fair.
He does it to me all. I actually hate it too.
I
wish
know.
he'd make that promise to me.
know.
Whew.
I never asked him to make that
I
promise.
know. I'm being hyperbolic.
I just said it doesn't come off well.
What's our next topic, Paul?
Okay. So our next topic is. Anyway, I just wanted to rant about that. But our next topic is a dude injected semen into his arm.
Oh my God.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you heard about it. Jeremy, have you heard about this?
Absolutely not, but I'm interested.
Okay, so this dude, for 18 months, once a month, he was injecting semen into his arm. Now, why do you think he was doing this?
Make a baby.
No, that would be interesting. That would have been an interesting experiment. Did it work?
It's like, I don't got ovaries, so maybe it's in my arm.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
Science.
No, he thought that it would cure his back pain, his chronic back pain.
Did it work?
No. I'm sad to report that it did not.
Yeah.
Aw,
You know what it
damn
did
it.
do? You know what it did do instead? So, okay, so what happened was...
Baby?
No, he didn't get a baby.
Oh.
Because see, then this would be a good story. This would be like an amazing story instead of just like a sad WTF story.
Then we
which
could
is what
believe
it
in
is.
Jesus.
Well, we wouldn't be able
Yes.
to call it women's
Immaculate
rights. We
conception.
wouldn't be able to call women's rights anymore.
Oh man,
Just to be fair,
that would make the incels real happy.
I'm just saying, if we could have babies,
Yes. Can you imagine? Feminists
That's
be
the
like,
solution to the problem.
No.
Solve-
No, that would make things worse. Feminists would be like, God damn it, you took the one thing that we had. Okay, but no, anyway, no, it didn't work. So he ended up getting really bad back pain. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, hey, your arm looks red and swollen. What's going on there? And he was like, finally he admitted, like, yeah, I bought this hypodermic needle online, and I've
he
been
goes,
injecting...
"What? Oh, this arm? What?
Yeah, and I've been injecting semen directly into my veins
Oh my gosh, so great.
every
Does he
month
just,
for
like-
18 months.
You think he just like collects all of it in like a water bottle?
I don't know. I don't know if this is like if this is a cum box scenario that we're talking about.
gross.
Well,
This
he's
is so
got to
gross.
freeze it, or he couldn't. Like, it wouldn't be liquid, when he got it.
I mean, you're ignoring the possibility that he just
Took it out of
pleasures himself right into the syringe and then
You're
injects
ignoring
it.
the
But, like-
possibility that he's
but he
he's
only does
just
it once a
syringing
month.
it out of his nutsack.
No, that's not happening.
Oh
I don't
my
think-
god!
wait,
how
you
did
actually- I
we
don't-
come to this?
I don't know.
How did
Part
we?
of it-
That's not how that works.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
No,
I don't think it all just comes from your nutsack.
no.
Okay, something's in there.
Yeah, so I think is the actual
How are we
sperm
gonna-
itself in there?
I don't
Is that
know,
right?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure. I ain't no scientist, except
Something
I
that
actually
comes
am a
from your
scientist. I'm
prostate,
just
you
not
know
that
that.
kind of a scientist. Anyway, but the point is, yeah, so it didn't work. And so the doctor was like, hey, what's going on? He said, oh, yeah, I've been injecting semen once a month, 18 doses. Now, here's my question. What qualifies as a dose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, I mean, I'd assume it's a full needle full, which is probably what's a standard hypodermic needle. Let's find
You
out.
can get them in all different sizes. You can
That's
get them in
true.
all different sizes.
I claim it to be a teaspoon. I claim it to be a teaspoon. Dude. I have a
Okay, no, you know why I find that so funny is because I've been cooking a lot lately,
Oh, gross.
and they always call for like a teaspoon of this or tablespoon of, and it just immediately was like, just what if I read in a recipe like a teaspoon of semen? I'm like, I did. Did I copy this from the wrong website? What's happening?
It's more useful than a dash of semen.
God.
So I have a topic.
Okay.
I have a topic that's going to start off scaring you,
Okay.
but I promised you
Oh, hold on. Just forget.
Hit me.
I didn't tell you what happened, which was
about the phone.
no. With the guy's arm,
Oh.
it trapped a pocket of air under his arm,
Ooh.
and it got into his muscles and his tissue, and they
Oh,
had
it's a good thing he didn't inject that into his vein, or he'd be dead.
no. He did inject it into his vein. That's how it
Wait,
got
the-
into his tissue.
Well, if you inject an air, I guess the air didn't get in there.
No,
so
the air pocket formed underneath his
Yeah.
skin, between the
It's a
muscle
good
and the
thing he didn't
skin.
get an air pocket in his vein, though. He'd be dead.
Oh yeah. No, so anyway, they had to give him intravenous antimicrobials.
It's probably because it was probably just because like the bacteria ate the semen up within it and expelled gas. And
Yeah.
that's probably what happened.
Yeah,
That's
it was
good.
the bacteria. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so go ahead with your story.
Okay, so you're gonna start off scared, but don't worry.
I mean, I always start off scared when you have stories.
I know. So I was talking to a buddy, and I had heard this before, and I never thought about it. It's one of those things you hear like, drinking alcohol kills brain cells, right?
Yep.
And you don't think about it for a long time, and then you realize, oh, that's obviously nonsense. But you
Oh,
believe
yeah.
it when you're like 16.
Yeah.
So like, have you ever heard the story of where the N-word comes from?
No, but I'm very scared about
I
this
know you'd be scared, but don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
But I've heard this before, that it came from like Africans selling Africans. Like that's what they called them.
Okay.
And I said, I'd heard that before. And as soon as I heard it, I said, that can't be
It
true.
doesn't feel true. Yeah.
That can't be true. And,
Yeah.
and they're like, why? I was like, well, because it shares the Latin root with Latin for black,
Yeah.
right? Like, so like, what is black in Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Negro.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, Rome didn't conquer Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. So that it wouldn't be tied to their language.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
And
right.
it's like it's supposed to be the Swahili. It's supposed to be the Swahili word for black person. And I go, that just can't be true.
Yeah.
Because Swahili wasn't owned by Rome, I don't think.
Right.
I don't think Rome went much further than Egypt. So, and the word for God in Egypt sounds a lot like the N word. So that wouldn't make any sense. You just wouldn't grab that word.
Right.
So anywho, I looked it up. I was right.
That was
It's
the story.
just a myth. It's just
That was the story.
well, a lot of people might think that's.
You interrupted my semen in the arm story for that.
I that was the epilogue because we were done with it. He had a pocket of air and he's not dead. Is there more? Oh, I'm sorry.
Did
The
he
moral of
have
the
a
story.
baby?
The moral of the story is don't inject semen into your veins.
Unless it gives you a baby or cures your back pain.
Except spoiler, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Sure doesn't. No, but have you ever heard that myth,
Hey,
Paul?
hey, you know what?
No.
That's
You really
honestly
haven't?
never have.
No, I
We
heard,
have
I heard
to-
it growing up.
no. You know what? You don't know that. We have to repeat the experiment.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a double blind experiment.
Yeah.
How do you inject semen into someone's arm without either the person injecting it or the person receiving it knowing about it?
I would want them to be the same blood type for this experiment.
Yeah,
I
I feel like that would be a necessity.
I feel, yeah. Are they supposed to be Russian?
I don't think so.
I get a Russian vibe from the Cannon people.
Wait, did I just do Clifftown? Yeah, I just did Clifftown.
I get a British vibe.
Oh, did you finish Clifftown?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it was quick.
Ah.
Which is funny because if you go watch my playthroughs on our YouTube
So
channel.
why are we doing this?
If you go watch my playthroughs on the YouTube channel, I don't know, because I feel like you get those orbs, which gives you more life. So once that circle fills,
Understood.
you get more life.
Understood.
Anyway, and also I'm distracting because I don't know what else to do right now.
Win.
Anyway, if you go watch my playthrough that I did of this on our YouTube channel, that level took me forever because I couldn't find those gems that were like you had to float behind that starting building. I didn't know that. I couldn't figure it out. And then when you get there, there's a chest that looks like it has a lock on it. So I was looking for a key. It turns out that chest doesn't actually. It's like they put the wrong texture on there. It's actually just a chest that you just break. There's no key. And I was like, so I was looking for like 20 minutes, like, where the hell is the key? And then I Googled it and they're like, oh, they just messed up. That's actually not one that requires a key. You can just break it. And I was like, God dang it. So this time I knew about it.
Gotcha.
Are you fighting a boss?
No.
It
Oh,
said
wait. Am I?
It said confronting Dr. Shemp.
Oh, yeah, I am. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. I jumped
Awesome.
ahead.
Jeremy, had you
Oh.
heard that myth before?
What myth? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. See, Jeremy heard it before.
I never thought of it as his back though.
I mean, I swallow. I mean,
was like, I
gr-
was like for sure that was just a myth. That sounded stupid.
No, I mean, I grew up thinking the Civil War wasn't about slavery, so I
Touche.
I just thought it's just a thing that I was, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I never learned that as a kid.
That always, what, the Civil War wasn't about slavery?
Yeah, I learned that it was about states' rights and slavery both. But,
Man.
like,
Yeah,
They improved the schools
That's
in a
the
decade.
milder version of what I got.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, states' rights, yes, that's the thing. But like, they always dissociate from like, it was about states' rights. I'm like, what did you think the right that they were fighting
Yeah.
for was?
Yeah,
It was the
yeah,
right
it was
to own other people, guys.
Yeah,
They weren't going to war for the right to religious freedom.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who was pretty adamant about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, we all did. That's part of growing up in the South.
Oh no! I meant adamant that it was like owning people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No, in my school they were like,
you know,
they just kind of,
you had him too. It's surprising that he didn't.
Jason, you had it.
I was just thinking, did we go to the same junior high, Jeremy?
We did.
Oh,
You
that's-
had him.
Yeah. I
He
have.
was real. You emailed him.
I
remember?
know, and he was on the wrong side of it.
Really?
Yeah.
He told me. Like I remember him specifically telling me the other way.
Uh,
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was wrong. I could be wrong.
he gave me a big old.
Either way.
he gave me
I
a-
remember.
He gave me a big old browbeat about how I didn't understand things.
I remember it was years after like college, and this was when I was going through my reformation, right, from a conservative to a liberal, and I was like, well, yeah, it was always about states' rights, and then I looked it up. I looked up the Articles of Secession for the different states, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's how
this
I got
is
it. That's
deeply
how
racist.
That's how I found it.
Like Texas, like make no bones. They're like, nah, bud, this is about slavery. Like this is about you wanting to make black people equal.
Mississippi.
And we don't like that.
Mississippi.
was about slavery, yeah.
yeah.
But Texas was like, they were like, no, you guys want to make black people have equal rights, and we don't like that. They're not humans. And I was like, oh, man,
Yikes.
maybe we should have read this in school.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason we didn't.
Yeah, probably.
Did you hear? Did you not hear her when she talked?
No, what'd she say?
She goes, hello. Oh, okay. I gotta go back this other way. All right. So second story, there's a new Power Rangers game coming.
Ooh. Which version? Which Power Ranger set?
All of them.
Ooh, man.
Funny story.
So-
Jason left all of his Power Ranger toys at our parents' house.
Yeah.
When, and I broke every single one of them one day.
You bastard. Those are probably pretty expensive.
Mhm.
Those
I
were
have no
so
idea
hard
why
to get
either.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I have no idea why either.
My dad talked about like
I had
that
all
was
the Zeozords.
so that movie Jingle All the Way. Like my dad talked about like that's what it was like trying to get Power Rangers.
My mom
So
said
is
about
that-
it too.
that-
yeah.
that year. And I was like, that's just silly.
Our mom made a killing on it. She would go after it.
And I was like, I would have rather had a GameCube, guys. Thanks. That was actually years later, so
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
You know what I'm interested? You know what I wonder? I
Look
wonder
at his booty.
I'd love to know what the last toy I got was.
There's a lot of booty in this game for a kid's game.
Yeah, it's the most severe it can be.
All right.
That
Anyway,
would be interesting.
So
Yeah.
this Power Rangers. What was interesting?
I wonder what the last toy I received as a gift was.
Not like as
Oh,
a joke
man.
kind of gift though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean though? Like as like a, I really want this toy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do
I
video
can't even-
games count though?
No, I
Okay.
wonder what the last toy I wanted was.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
As a toy, not as a collectible.
Yeah, like to play with.
Yes.
Oh man.
I can
I
remember.
don't know.
I got one.
I feel like
I
I-
remember one time.
I feel like I'm betraying my younger self by not knowing.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But it had. We
I
couldn't have been
remember
older than
one-
like 12 or 13,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
if that.
I remember one toy Dad promised he bought it for me on the premise that I could only play with it if I didn't move my head while I got my hair cut. True story.
Mom
It
was
a Power Ranger toy too.
Mom was mad when they cut your hair
Why?
because you had little curls in the back.
Aw.
I remember them.
Oh.
Aw.
He was blonde. He was so
Aw.
blonde.
Aw.
Now he's a
super blonde.
shithead like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well at least you fuckers still
Man,
have
do I
hair,
make it
so-
work?
Okay. Anyway, so the Power Rangers game, yeah, it's called Battle for the Grid, and it's a fighting game, and it's gonna have a story mode, and the story mode is apparently gonna cover all the different
it's Budokai.
generation. Well, so apparently they did a thing last year called something about the grid. I forget what it was called. What was it called? Shattered Grid. And it was a big crossover. Because, okay, this will make you feel old. Man, how the hell do I get off this ledge? I think I have to go over here.
I just have to say real fast. Good job on this level, Paul.
Oh, yeah. I played it before.
Okay? I was about to say you just demolished this level.
It's not that hard.
I feel like
to be
we've done
honest.
it. Been doing this a minute.
I know, because I had to fly back
Oh, okay.
after I got those gems. There was no way to jump back up here.
All right.
Anyway, so this will make you feel old. Last year was the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers.
That doesn't make me.
That
feel old,
can't be.
'cause they're older
That
than me.
is true.
Yeah.
It's funny because it
1993.
It came out the day I started kindergarten. It started out coming out in the mornings
Yeah.
before school, and I found it the first day. And I remember telling my mom, I don't remember the words I said, but the sentiment I expressed to my mother was, "Mom, this is going to be important to me." I saw that first
Nice.
episode, and I said, "I think this
Nice.
is. I think this
This
is
is
where
going to
it's-
be my thing now.
This is where it's at," and it was.
Yeah.
It was. And then all I wanted to talk about was Power Rangers. I explained my
God, I don't
toys to
wanna do this right
everybody.
now. I don't want to do that level right now. So here's a question. Do you know when Super Sentai started?
No.
1975.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So for those listening that are not aware, Power Rangers is based off of a Japanese series called Super Sentai.
Mm.
And it started in 1975.
That Jeremy was not aware. What is that?
Oh, so you're not aware of this?
Yeah, they're all
No, I wasn't a
Japanese.
huge Power Rangers thing.
Oh, okay, so there was a Japanese show called Super Sentai, and so okay, when you watch Power Rangers, all the scenes with the people in suit fighting,
It's from another
that's
show.
from the Japanese show.
From another show.
And
They're all Japanese people in
They're
there.
all Japanese people. In fact, if you watch the original Power Rangers, the Yellow Ranger, which is Trini in the U.S., it was a guy in that suit
Oh wow.
because it was a male character in Super Sentai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's an entirely different show. The plot is not even the same. The villains are not even the same.
Which hey,
Zed was not in Super Sentai.
racial stuff aside, good on us.
Well,
Good on us. How
I mean,
progressive of us.
he had
we made it.
rights.
We made it a lady.
oh yeah.
We made it a lady. Good on us.
We made the Asian lady the Yellow Ranger
Good
though.
job. I said racial stuff aside.
Okay.
You
yes.
can't get everything right, Paul.
I don't know. Feels like you could try a little harder. And we made the Black Ranger a black guy.
I know.
We've talked about this before because then they realized it, and then
Was
they
the red
changed
guy
it.
an Indian? Was the
I,
red
No,
guy?
you know what I
he's
like
a
to
white
think.
guy.
You know what I like to think about
He was
that.
the leader, so of course he was a white guy.
No, he was Indian. No,
yeah.
he was Indian. There was a reference
Really?
to him being Indian. Yes, the red guy was Native.
Oh, Jason?
Yes, there was a reference to him being Native
Oh
American.
yeah,
Yes,
Austin wasn't.
maybe. Yeah. Yeah, because that's when. They,
But then Tommy was the leader, and Tommy's a white guy.
sure,
So
but he was white. He was
is
the White Ranger.
yeah, he was literally the White Ranger. Well, he was Green Ranger.
But here's the
first.
thing. Here's the thing about the original Power Rangers.
then he was Black
And
Ranger.
I have a position
Gold Ranger.
on No, he wasn't the Gold Ranger. Jason was the Gold Ranger.
Oh, okay. I quit watching by then.
Yeah,
I thought he was the Gold Ranger.
Nope. Jason came back as the after the alien. The Gold Ranger was actually 3 people for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then
wasn't Tommy one of them?
No. It was 3 aliens. They were all the same guy or something.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Jason got the power of the Gold Ranger.
Oh,
That's how it went down. So, what the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I have a position on.
Oh, here we go.
On the colors. Okay.
Okay.
It's generous.
Okay.
To Power Rangers. Okay.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
You'll hear. You'll see. I like to think.
Okay.
That I obviously that was deliberate. The colors and the race thing.
Oh yeah.
But I like to think that it was coming from a good place. I like to think the person that designed it was like, well, hey,
this will be a nice nod.
We got a black guy,
yeah.
We got an Asian lady,
yeah.
And everybody gets a thing,
yeah.
And we'll put them in the colors so they know which colors because it's for kids,
yeah.
So they go, well, yeah.
So we'll have diversity in the suits too.
Native Americans have red skin, so there you go.
Yeah.
And
then they really missed the mark on it.
And then we all
it didn't pan out the way they wanted.
And the culture evolved, and we go, oh well, that was
a bad idea.
Didn't age well,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean,
an attempt was made.
No one think I really don't think that some racist was at Bandai going, you know what, this will really get the libs going.
No. I don't think so either. I think it was just an oversight. Yeah. I think it was somebody that just didn't understand. It was a white person that didn't understand.
Trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Just didn't just
well,
miss the mark.
I don't even know if it was trying to be a good guy. I think it's just like, oh, it's default assumption. Like, oh, we have an Asian person? Let's make him the Yellow Ranger.
I mean, just imagine. I like to think it's some guy saying, "Hey, guys, thinking of you."
Yeah.
And he said this is in the worst way. But
yeah.
Not the worst way.
Right.
But I
yeah. I got you.
I'm glad it's a real thing because I think it's funny. I do think that's a funny story that like no one I didn't even notice when I was a kid.
No.
I didn't even notice. It never crossed my mind.
No, I didn't either. It wasn't until I was older and somebody pointed. And I'm Asian, right? It wasn't until I was older.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed it out, and I was like,
and I knew people.
Yeah.
And I knew people.
But I'm only part Asian.
I have plenty of white kids. I said white kids. Plenty of kids where I grew up, like that wanted to be the Black Ranger.
Yeah.
They didn't think anything of it. Well, they just like like Zach. He dances.
He does. He was good.
He was the black guy did dance.
And who did they replace him with? I said Austin was a Red Ranger, but Austin
was the Asian guy. The Asian guy.
Yeah,
Adam replaced the.
And then Ashley was the replacement Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then of course they made Kimberly the Pink Ranger.
Here's something interesting. Here's an argument for the colors being racially divided. Ready?
Okay.
No, think this through.
Be careful.
I'm gonna be careful. No, you think that? Do you think? You notice how we know the races of all the Power Rangers?
Would we have known if it was?
Would we have known if they were arbitrarily chosen? Would we still remember what their races were?
I feel like
I don't know
because we watched the show enough. You watched it even more than I did.
Well, I would, but would a normal person?
Oh well, I mean,
if they
didn't watch the show, they probably still don't know.
I have an encyclopedic knowledge about most mythologies.
For example, me.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy didn't know. He didn't watch the show, so he didn't know that the Yellow Ranger was.
I watched it, but just like,
I don't think we would have noticed.
I don't think this is something that most people that don't watch the show think about.
Everybody who cares about us watch Power Rangers.
You want to know something that keeps me up at night?
Oh, God only knows.
Yeah. They told me Columbus discovered America.
Well, yeah, they told me that too. I told everybody that. It's fine. It's an okay thing to kill kids.
He discovered America and all the people already here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's how they explained it to people. I mean, there's gonna be a new way, but whatever way we.
Why would you just explain that to me in 8th grade?
Because the white people wrote the history books.
Well, okay,
you can teach me algebra, but you can't tell me that someone else actually discovered the country.
There's two sides to this. A, that's the wrong story. Fair.
Mm-hmm.
B, whatever the right story is, the way we tell children will be wrong because we're going to need some easily digestible way to explain where America comes from, and it's just not going to be the full history of the colonization of this continent, right? Like it's not what you explain to little kids. So you start off with, well, someone discovered it, right? His name was Columbus, right? And
I
they
just
have
knocked him off the
they have a
ledge.
poem about it.
When do you tell him? When do you go any further back because it never happened?
I'm sorry.
When do you go further back than that though? Because that was the end point.
Right.
Hey, Columbus did it.
Right. It's yeah, I mean, I hear you. It just needs to be more correct. I'm not wrong about that. But whatever it is going to be kind of wrong because you're going to have to simplify it.
Yeah, you could feed me bits of information at a time.
I
Hey,
agree. I'm just
Columbus came here in this age.
I like to give everyone as much of a benefit of doubt as I can.
Even about slavery?
No, what? No.
The slavery argument we were just having.
Yeah.
You didn't give them the benefit of the doubt.
Which part did I say that wasn't the benefit of doubt?
That it wasn't about slavery. That the Civil War wasn't about slavery.
Oh, I'm sure that some of these people aren't sinister. They just. I don't doubt that there are plenty of people who say that nonsense who are just trying to like not look guilty.
Yes,
but I also think that there are people, including myself, when I thought that. Sure. I just thought that was a fact of things. I was just wrong. It was. I wasn't trying to hide guilt. I just thought it was wrong.
In our defense, we were indoctrinated.
Yeah.
The adults don't have that defense. That defense.
They've had time to be indoctrinated.
Yeah, but they've also had time to learn better.
Oh well, you can't fix stupid. So.
Ooh. Ouch.
If you're a history teacher and you think that, I don't know what else to call you. I don't feel bad about that. You don't know history.
Yeah.
You're a bad history teacher. You're dumb.
I mean, but they were also saying that Columbus discovered America. So.
Well, and if you're teaching that in junior high,
I mean, you know why that's stupid on multiple levels. Like, number one, like, okay, there were already people in America. Number two, he didn't even land in North America. He landed in fucking, like, the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even land on the continent.
West Indies.
Yeah. So it's like, what the?
But like, it was just like,
what
it
the
was
fuck?
just straight up wrong. Like,
Yes, it was just
nothing
wrong at
right
every
about it.
level.
It's not like dumbing it down for children. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I could say at least the slavery thing makes sense because like the South is known for being racist, you know. But like,
it's there's a natural. There's a natural
reason to just randomly lie about history.
No. It's not random. Honestly, it's not. For a long time, it was viewed as old world and new world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the sentiment that they were trying to convey is that our civilization.
Yes. He was the first whitey that found it.
didn't know what was going on over here.
Yeah.
And so they discovered it.
Yes.
It evolved.
All of our ancestors.
I mean, that's where
he was the first one of our ancestors.
That's why it's persisted.
Yeah, but that's also still pretty racist.
Yes, but it's why it persisted.
Yeah. Well, and because people didn't want to come to grips with the fact that their ancestor that discovered the world was a genocidal maniac. So
I think it's more mundane than that. I think it's more just they didn't view Native American civilization.
He's the one who discovered it that mattered. That's the argument.
No, I'm saying almost.
That's not racist.
No, I didn't say it wasn't racist. I said it was more. I said it was more mundane, which more banal. Sure. Which is that I think they just didn't view for a long time. People just didn't think about Native American civilization as civilization.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just viewed it as savagery, right? So it doesn't count as. You can't discover the America without a civilization, and they didn't have a civilization, so
right. Except they did.
Yes,
Yeah.
firmly on that camp.
Yeah. Just to be clear, I know I was just making it clear for anybody listening. You're not in agreement with that sentiment.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Ragnar the Red. Can you sing Ragnar the Red? No, because you don't play Skyrim because you don't like fantasy, but you like dragons. Don't understand you, Paul.
I'm like an onion. I have layers.
Yeah.
But cakes have layers, and everybody likes cake.
I don't.
You don't like cake?
Nope.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't like too much icing on cake.
I don't like icing.
People
at all.
put icing on it. That's the problem with cake, is there's so much goddamn icing.
Yeah, well, okay,
but
this is why the best cake is very clearly red velvet, because it's cream cheese icing.
Ooh.
Absolutely disagree.
Absolutely disagree.
Okay,
1000%.
well, you're all wrong, and this is good to know.
It's
good to know. It's good to know that I'm doing podcasts with a couple of monsters that don't enjoy cream cheese icing.
The first worst cake is a carrot cake.
Coconut.
Okay, no, we're done.
I claim.
Jeremy
coconut.
is no longer on the podcast. He has spoken blasphemy.
I claim coconut's worse, Jeremy.
Jason is no longer on the podcast. He has uttered blasphemy.
You like coconut?
I love
You like
coconut.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
As a cake, it's not my favorite type of cake, but I love coconut.
You're a heathen.
You
Yeah.
people are monsters.
I don't.
You're both monsters. There's no other description for this.
It's the best way to keep
Disgusting.
me.
There's
from
no other
eating-
description for this.
You want
You're
me to
both
not
monsters.
eat? You want me to not eat your food? Buy coconut cake.
You don't eat my food anyway. You complain about it.
I do.
Your chili's
Yeah, but
too
he's gonna
thin, man.
What?
Complains about everything.
Your chili's too thin.
Your chili was too thin.
Or it's too green, man.
I didn't mind the green. I mind the thinness.
And what did I do? I made it thicker for you. I changed myself for
You
you.
did. You're a good man.
Oh, what?
Aww.
I don't know how to get there. How do I get there?
How do I
Oh,
has?
well, not that way. That's how I die. That's how that happened. Okay. The Oscar 2019 nominations were announced. Did you see this? Have you seen them? Did anybody look at them?
Uh,
The Oscar nominations for 2019.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Kevin Hart?
No. No. So the most interesting thing I found about this was that how do I get up there?
Do a
What?
backflip.
What am I missing? Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture.
Really?
Oh, I bet I have to get up there. Yes.
That's pretty awesome. It was a good movie, man.
Was it?
was it better than Black Klansman?
Yes.
Oh, no.
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 I'm just kidding.
way.
I'm just kidding. I barely remember Black Klansman.
Oh,
I
well, you
hate-
should watch it again because it's great.
I really should. I was really drunk.
It's great. I love that movie.
I liked that movie a lot.
Okay, so to be fair, I don't dislike Black Panther. I really like it. It's in
Yes.
top 5 favorite Marvel movies.
Not as good as Ragnarok.
You hate black people, don't you, Paul?
Well, yeah, that's why I think
That's
Black
what this is
Klansman is
about.
the best movie.
That's what this is about.
Yep. That's why I think Black Klansman is a better movie because I hate black people. Clearly.
I'm sorry.
But no, seriously, like I like Black Panther, but it's a superhero movie. Superhero movies just don't feel like Best Picture to me.
I have friends who like Black Panther.
Just admit it, Token. Admit you like Black Panther. Oh god, how do I get there? I'm so confused.
Maybe you kill that bat. I like how his butt wiggles when he glides.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
How-
I'm
how-
real into,
What?
I'm real into dragon butts. It wiggles back and
What?
forth. Yeah, you got to get a big jump again. Get a long one, you'll see it. It takes a second to notice.
How do I get up there? That's where I'm getting confused.
Can you get up from the other side of it?
Well, that's where I'm looking to see if there's another way over there. Anyway, so yeah, so Black Klansman was nominated for Best Picture. Actually, Jason,
What's that?
can I trust you with the laptop?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Here.
This
I'm
is-
handing you the tablet.
Paul, the answer is no.
Be careful what you touch. So read some of those nominees. But the biggest one I think is Black Panther being nominated for Best Picture. But after you read the nominees for Best Picture, I will tell you.
Black Panther, Black Klansman,
Mhm.
Bohemian Rhapsody, The
Mhm.
Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
Yep. So here's the thing. Black Panther and Black Klansman are the only ones I've seen of those movies. Unfortunately. I do plan to see Vice and what was the one right before that? Oh,
A Star Is Born.
Star is Born. I do plan to see those. I just haven't seen them yet.
So, best lead actor? What's a lead actor?
Lead.
Oh.
Also, by the way, I think one of those movies is a Netflix movie, and it was nominated for Best Picture for Oscar, which is also the first time that's happened. A streaming movie's been nominated for Best Picture. Anyway, no, I totally think it's Black Klansman are the ones I've seen, which is only those two. And
So, the best lead actors options are Batman in Vice, Rocket Raccoon
Wait.
in A Star Is Born,
oh, Batman, Christian Bale.
the Green Goblin in At Eternity's Gate,
Jesus Christ,
Darth
Jason.
Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody, and Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior in The Green Book.
Wait, Jesus Christ.
Viggo Mortensen.
Did he play Jesus Christ?
No, but he ought to.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about the dude that played him in Passion of the
I
Christ.
had a friend. I had a friend. Well, he was cooler than me. He actually wasn't my friend, but I wanted to be his friend. And he, in high school, and he would carry around this picture of Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
And he would tell, and people would ask, like people would ask him why he had it, and he's like, hey, it's just picture Jesus. And like, there's only a few people who knew that it was just Viggo Mortensen, our Lord and Savior.
You know what? I bet I can get there from here. Are you ready to see butt wiggle?
I sure am. See it? Do you see it now?
No. I didn't make it either, by the way.
That's there.
It's not wiggling that much.
That wiggles a whole bunch.
Alert.
It wiggles like a full hip's worth. Right?
A full hips worth.
Yes, if you took the from the middle distance of his hips, right? At least that much. The extremist wiggles. I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain that better.
No, I got you.
All right, do it again. You ready? Watch the butt. Watch the butt. Stop turning and watch the butt.
Well, I have to turn to get here.
Well, you can't see it because that's what makes you not see it. But I saw it still.
Okay, here.
I saw it.
I'm not seeing it,
Not
man.
long enough. Not long enough. Not long enough.
Not
You
seeing it.
gotta get a bigger jump. Go straight. I don't care if you die. Just jump somewhere off and do it.
I'm returning home, actually.
Okay, but then jump off.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing
There's
it.
no
man.
wiggle right now. Ooh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
I'm not seeing it, man. I can even make his wings flap. Okay, well, we're about to see it because the next level is a flight level. So
Excellent.
Fuck my life.
Excellent.
These are so difficult.
So 2018 NPD numbers.
Oh, wait, you didn't read? Oh, so I just want to say, that's fine. You don't have to read them all. I just want to say Black Klansman was also nominated for Best Editing.
Uh-huh.
And even if it doesn't win Best Picture, it should win Best Editing because the last 20 minutes of that movie are like fucking amazing. I was enraptured when it was on, when I first saw it. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm
You
a
know,
good fan.
it's gonna be great to watch that because I do not remember a thing about it.
You don't remember anything about the end of Black Klansman?
Not a
Oh, you're in for a
single
treat.
Yeah, he fell asleep.
You're in for a treat. I fell asleep too when we were watching it, but I'd seen it before.
So
I don't even remember the beginning.
Oh, man, you're in for a treat.
I'm sure I'll remember it once I see it, but like I remember it being real intense.
Oh, it's so
I do
good.
remember that.
what is an NPD number, Paul?
I don't know what NPD stands for, and frankly, it doesn't matter. But essentially, they're video game sales for hardware and software.
There's no butt wiggle here. You got to be falling.
Okay. So tell me about them NPD numbers. Or do you want me to just do it? I remember it from memory.
Oh, do it.
Okay. So the Switch was the best-selling console of December and also the best-selling console of 2018.
Okay.
Which is interesting because if you followed it throughout the year, the PS4 sold really well throughout the year, and it led in a lot of months. So the fact that Switch ended up winning like most sales of the year, I find kind of surprising, to be honest. Like, it had to have sold a shit ton in December, and when you look at the sales of video games in December, that lends some credence to that.
Just imagine how good they would have done if they had actually sold a video game system.
Oh God, you're the worst. Oh, I'm not gonna. You motherfucker!
Oh,
That
no.
was so close.
Oh, you motherfucker! I hate these things so much.
Wow. That was so close. Was that a first try? That was a first try.
That was the first try. Anyway, yeah, no, I think it had to have sold a lot in December. And like I said, when you look at the best-selling games of December, you see that. So what are the best-selling games of December? Because I don't remember those, so you can read those.
Oh, best-selling games of December. Smash Ultimate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate was the best-selling game in December, and it only came out halfway through December. And you know what's really interesting about that?
What?
None of Nintendo's video game sales numbers, they don't count any digital sales because they don't report them to the NPD. So that's only physical copies, which is crazy.
Huh.
They didn't count me.
I didn't realize they didn't count digital sales.
Those bastards.
Yeah. Oh, this one's not gonna go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the Switch had the best-selling month of any console since the Wii in December 2009, and it had the best-selling year of any console since PS4 in 2015. So Switch, man, Switch is doing it big. It had
their nostalgia.
it had 4 of the top 10 best-selling games in December and 6 of the top 20 best-selling games for
I
the
agree
year.
with your strategy of doing the lights first because they don't gain you time.
No, they do gain you time.
Oh, the lights themselves gain you time?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I think you do
See? 2
circles,
seconds.
chess, and then you do the arches, and then you do the lights.
Yeah, well, that's what I did the first time.
Well,
And it didn't work.
The first time, well, you were close, but you didn't finish the arches before you started the lights.
Okay.
Maybe give it a shot. I don't know for sure, but
See, I feel like this isn't the right way to go because now I'm like all messed up on arches.
yeah, no, that's definitely not the right way to go. I think you finished the arches.
But see, it leads right into the chests. I feel like I'm just going to be missing.
How did you got to
Shit.
the chests first last time, remember?
Yeah, because
Remember
they're
you
right there. They're right there when you start. It's all a big circle.
Yeah, okay. Try
See? It's right there.
try circles, chests, and then you
I'm going for chests.
okay.
Chess man.
Oh,
Worth.
huh?
Nothing. You're good at this. I'm excited.
So frustrating. Okay, I'm going to go circles. I think they're rings, technically,
All right.
if I'm being
What's
honest.
our next topic, boys?
What is our
Space
next
Force TV show.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about this, Jeremy?
I didn't. Am I in it?
No.
No, you're not in it. I don't know. Not yet. Maybe it'll be about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Steve Carell.
Steve Carell, yeah, and most of the people that made the U.S. Office, they're making a Netflix show about the creation of Space Force.
Are some of the stars going to be in it?
Huh?
Are some of the stars from The Office going to be in it?
Well, Steve Carell.
Other than Steve Carell.
Oh,
No Jim. No Jim.
no, I don't think so. He's doing that Jack Ryan series.
Oh, yeah. I haven't checked that out.
on Prime. Yeah, I haven't either. Didn't.
I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst.
Watch Patriot on Amazon. Ooh.
Okay. We're gonna find out if this works better. I don't have high hopes because my time's already counting down. If the light towers gave me 3 seconds apiece, that would give me more confidence. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on.
You got this, baby.
Yes!
Ooh, wow.
Hey, guess who called it?
Second to
Jeremy.
spare.
That's who.
Yeah, you're the
Jeremy
best.
called.
You should be playing. Why aren't
I'm
you
the
playing?
best.
Do we
Why
know,
aren't
so
you
so
playing?
do we know anything else interesting
Why
about
don't you
the
let me
space show?
play?
No,
Paul?
not really. They just did a teaser.
I would
I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry, what were you saying,
So
Jeremy?
explain to me who
I was just messing around.
Explain to me who H.bomberguy is. I know you've done it before, but just explain it again.
So H.bomberguy, he apparently he's a Twitch streamer. I didn't know he did Twitch streams because I'm not that big on Twitch, even though we're streaming this live right now on Twitch, twitch.tv/don'tcallmepretentious. I actually don't get that much time to watch Twitch, so I didn't know that he had a Twitch stream that he did regularly. But he has a YouTube channel, and he covers, ostensibly, he talks about video games, but like a lot of his videos, especially over the last couple of years, are actually covering like politics.
Yeah.
So remember we watched that video about the soy boy diet?
Yeah.
That was H.bomberguy.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Gross.
Oh, he was the one making fun of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the one doing it. Sorry.
No.
I'm
He was
there.
making fun of Paul Joseph Watson.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. In InfoWars. Yeah.
I
So-
try not to remember crazy people's names.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
Johnson guy. So anyway,
Yeah.
go
Yeah, I
ahead.
saw
Paul
him on
Joseph
one of my
Watson.
favorite streamers stream. He streams on there, or comes
Yeah.
on there occasionally.
So he was doing a stream recently. Wait, do I have all the worlds here? Is there anything else? No, I think I'm good. Moving on. We're moving on. He's doing a stream where he was basically doing a charity stream for a charity in the UK called Mermaid, and they do they help kids like that are transgender or having gender dysphoria, things like that. And the reason he was doing it was because there's some comedian. Did you ever hear of the show, The IT Crowd?
Yeah.
So the guy who created it is super dick about trans people
Oh, really?
and this charity, and he was trying to get the government to defund this charity. That
Why?
helps trans. 'Cause
Why
he's an
bother?
asshole.
Why
'Cause he's an asshole.
bother?
He got contacted by the police for harassing a trans woman on Twitter.
I
So-
understand. I can get there. I understand why someone might not understand.
Right.
I don't
But why do
understand.
you harass?
Why would you bother people you
Yeah.
don't know?
Just get educated.
Do you know what people I don't like? Do you know I almost never deal with them. So why bother? I mean, you know what's
I don't
bothering
know.
you?
We talk an awful lot about politics. So.
I know, but then but our politics generally goes like, why are you bothering people?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's like I probably wouldn't be a liberal if I hadn't started there.
Yes.
It's what maybe that's why they don't do it. That's why
Yeah.
they don't start there because you become a liberal.
Yeah.
Because I swear to God, it's like, dude, why are you bothering people?
Yeah. I mean,
People
that was
who-
part of the transition from being conservatives. Like, man, it's awfully exhausting
Like when
being
you
mad at people.
when you're
all the time.
trying to decide between whether you give welfare to this person or that person, you're
Yeah.
talking about people one way or another who aren't having as good a time as you.
Yeah.
So don't bother them.
Yeah. I know. There's a whole thing. We could talk about it, and we might talk about it at some point on our defunct channel.
In progress.
In progress.
Yes.
YouTube.com. Don't call me political. Anyway, back to the point. So this guy was talking shit about this charity, and he was trying to get it defunded because apparently in the UK they have like a lottery where the government does a lottery for charities, and then they give grants to whoever wins the lottery, essentially.
Okay.
And so this charity, Mermaid, which was about trans rights, which by the way, that name is awesome. Because remember we've talked about that before. Would you actually want like a fish head and a human body?
Sure.
That's the only way it could reproduce, but nobody's attracted to that.
Yeah.
Which is part of that whole thing of like, right, like gender and organs don't matter, right? That's not what attracts you to people initially, right?
I guess.
So I love that's why that's how they made their name that. Anyway, so he was trying to get the government to defund it and say like, no, you can't give them money or something like that. And so H.bomberguy decided he was going to do a charity stream to raise money for this charity, and he decided to do.
Did he.
Yeah, he's one of these people that really likes Donkey Kong 64, and God love them. They're a rare breed. So he decided that he was gonna, but he said, "Hey, I never finished Donkey Kong 64 because even people that love it, it was too big.
Dude, it was
There's
too big.
much stuff."
I remember Jeremy actually had it. Jeremy got it for
Yeah.
Christmas, and I tried.
We have it.
I tried playing it, and I played it for ages. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting nowhere.
My mom did it too. My mom played it, and there's just so much in it. I actually had the cartridges right there in that closet.
Yeah, not worth it.
No, there's
I
so
had
much
that
going
game.
on to it.
I don't remember a thing about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
know.
remember
I
it.
played your game, and I could not figure it out. It's just there's so much.
It's not hard to figure out, but there's a lot.
I felt like I always felt like I wasn't figuring it out because it felt like it never ended. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
just doing stuff I'm not supposed to do.
It goes
That's
on
how
and
I
on.
felt, but you have to do it all.
It goes on and on. So anyway, so he said, "Hey, I love the game, but I've never actually finished it. So I'm going to do a Twitch stream where I play through the entire game and I 100% it finally, and I'm going to raise money for this charity at the same time, right?"
Fair enough.
I think he's raised like over $300,000 at this point now.
325K.
Yeah. So people started calling in, like this Twitch stream became a big
Paul,
thing
these
because it's taken him like 80 hours and he's still not done.
Some of these characters look peaceful that you're
I thought it was
murdering.
58.
Oh, did he finish?
Yeah, I think he finished.
Oh, okay. Well, 58's
Yeah.
not that bad. That's like not Skyrim. I figured it would have taken longer.
There is no end to Skyrim.
Okay. Anyway, I don't care about your stupid game. Yeah, hate me in the comments. I'm sure they're coming.
Been playing since 2011. We're nowhere close, baby.
I'm sure they're coming. That's okay. You can play it on your freaking refrigerator now.
Oh my god, I want to play it when I get home.
Play what?
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Oh,
You can play
dude,
it on.
I'm so tired of this game.
I know.
Oh,
Stop
so
remaking
tired of
it.
hearing about it.
You can play it on
I'm so tired of hearing
Alexa.
about Skyrim.
This
It
has
came out,
got.
I was
This has got to stop. You can play it
I
on an
was
Alexa.
a junior. I was a junior in high school.
Still,
Okay,
it's still
I'm
so
23.
good. It's still so
Doing
good.
not.
It's still such a
No,
good game.
no.
It doesn't need to
No.
be re-released as
No.
the game of the year.
No.
17 years.
No, I agree
in a
with
row.
that. I agree
No.
with that. I agree with that. But I
God.
play it on PC now, and it's still
It's
good.
not like there's
Hey,
not
Jeremy.
that much
No.
content.
Hey Jeremy,
in it.
hey, you're wrong. Hey
bad.
Jeremy, you want to know what I do on Skyrim?
What's that?
I have a house and a farm, and I grow.
Uh-huh.
And hold on, and I grow my own ingredients for paralysis potion.
This sounds boring. Please
Shut
let
up.
me out. Please let me out
Shut
of this
up.
topic.
Well, you're not part of it.
Please let me
You're
out of
not
this
part
topic.
of it. So
This is my show. Please let me out of my
It's
topic.
our show. Quit. So I.
Boldar.
That's not nice. I
What's that nice?
grow paralysis potions, and then I put them on the tip of my arrows, and I shoot people, and they fall over paralyzed, and then I hack them to death. And it increases my, and so I level through alchemy. It's very cool.
It's taken you, let's see, it's 29, it's taken you 7 years, and you still haven't got 99 alchemy. Congratulations.
Oh,
You
no,
suck.
I have.
Okay, I'm gonna propose a new rule in the show.
Hit
that
me.
we never talk about Skyrim again.
Seconded.
All right, motion passes. Okay,
Unless we talk shit about it.
touche. Motion passes. Okay,
Democracy's a fickle beast. I'd be careful, Paul.
yeah, that's fine. I believe in democracy, so I can get overruled at some point. Okay, so anyway, because we've totally buried the lead at this point, which is he's doing the stream, gained lots of money, so people started calling in over Discord, be like, hey, just talking to him, right, about what he was doing, right? And guess who called in?
Oh, AOC.
Yeah, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She called in. She talked to him for like 12 minutes. She said that the N64 was the best system ever made, best console ever made.
Okay, fair enough.
Even though she never had one. So, but she said a friend had, and so she played it at a friend's house.
That's what's up.
Is that all that happened? She didn't say anything interesting?
No, she talked about like, you know, like he asked her questions about. Oh, I died. He asked her questions about like, hey, you know, trans rights and trans issues and stuff like that. She made a lot of really good comments about how like, you know, you have to tie these things to economics, and part of the reason trans people still suffer so greatly is because there's still so much discrimination in the workplace, and so they struggle with economically. They can't even find work and be able to support themselves and stuff like that. And we have to acknowledge all that. And healthcare was difficult, and a lot of plans didn't cover, you know, a lot of the healthcare needs for transgender people. She covered a lot of topics. It was great.
I'm good. She's a good lady.
Well, okay. What do you really think about?
I support her completely.
Yeah?
Don't do this.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm not interested
You're not interested in what?
in whatever you're doing.
What about, I'm just
I'm
asking about
a
AOC.
huge supporter of AOC. I agree with all of her policies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's lying.
Nope. Not lying. Completely agree.
No, he's not lying.
Paul
He does.
thinks I'm a sexist because I think
No.
What's how we're starting it. He thinks that because I worry that the right is going to try and make her look stupid.
Yes.
I do. I think 27-year-olds are really easy to make look stupid, and I'm worried that's what they're going to try and do. And look, guess what? They're doing it.
But they're already trying to do it. But she doesn't look stupid.
It's nothing to do with what I think
She
of
doesn't
her.
look
I
stupid,
think
though.
she's great. I would
Yes.
vote for her.
I know, that's why-
so.
that's
It's
why
not.
I
It's
don't
not your.
think that you're
That's
sexist.
not your point.
But like,
No.
I think they're gonna make.
You said what I
anybody look-
really think about her.
Doesn't
You're
matter,
implying that I think something crazy about
Does
her.
it even? Does it
A
even
big
matter
fan
at
of
this
her.
point, though? Really? Think about how dumb Trump looks.
I understand, but
Jesus.
I know, but I would argue that it's easier to get
looks-
conservatives to vote for dumb people than liberals.
Ooh.
You don't think
Ooh.
so?
Shots fired.
Sarah Palin?
Shots
Sarah
fired.
Palin.
No.
They thought
I agree with you, but
think-
shots fired.
Shot fired. You think liberals would vote for Sarah Palin?
No. No, I don't think so. No, you're right. You're right. I again, I don't disagree with you, but
Their example
Shots
of
fired.
their example of a dumb Democrat is someone like not giving up on a tall tale. Elizabeth Warren. That's
Oh,
their example
yeah.
of who's dumb. Okay, everybody has fibs from like that they know isn't true, but they do it, and hers is stupider than most. And
wait, what? Tall tale?
that she was Native American or something, like she had
Oh.
ancestry or something. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, that's a tall tale. It was stupid of her, but like that's our Sarah Palin. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any day of the week.
Well,
Everybody
but-
who says that
But here's
better
the
not
thing.
have a tall tale. in
But
your
here's the
past.
thing. They talk. Here's what kills me is they talk about AOC like she's like Sarah Palin, like she's just as dumb, and I'm like,
And that's
you people are
that's
fucking
all
ridiculous.
That's the only thing I've said about her that isn't sterling. Is that I really do think that she's very susceptible to it. A large part of that is because she's 27.
Yeah, she's just unexperienced.
I think that is going to easily translate to dumb.
No.
I don't want.
Okay, here's the thing. You don't know because you're not on Twitter. She's constantly dunking on people on Twitter. It's so awesome.
Good.
She is, dude. I
Oh,
love
it's so
it.
good.
I
It's
love
so
it.
good. They're all like,
I like the way-
she's totally like aware of it too. She's like, I'm from the Bronx. We invented clapback. She's like, our clapback game is strong. And she's like retweeting Cardi B right now because Cardi B is getting super political, and she has been in the past.
Yeah.
But she's getting super political, and she's like fighting conservatives on Twitter, and it's so great. it's just so good.
You want to know what I'll do to shut you the fuck up about me and AOC? I will donate to
I'm
AOC.
not talking
I
about
will
you and AOC anymore.
I'm doing it.
I'm
I'm
not-
going to donate
You know
to
what?
AOC.
Jason, you're too sensitive on this.
I am.
I'm not
Why am I
talking
sensitive,
about
Paul?
you
Why
and
am I
AOC.
sensitive, Paul? Why am I sensitive?
Because we've had discussions about it, okay?
Uh-huh.
But I told you when we talked about this last night, and you promised me you were sober, and I'm starting to doubt that. Because I
What was it I
promised
got
you
mad
that we
about?
wouldn't talk about this, and then now you brought it up, and
You
I
brought
wasn't
it up.
trying to bring it up.
You said, "What do you really think?" in a sinister way.
I
Hey,
know. Okay, do you not remember that we talked about? You should bring up. I think that
I remember
people
goblins.
people are covering her like she's stupid, and then I would say like, oh no, she's actually dunking on them, and we're gonna have a whole conversation about that.
I do. Anyway,
I never wanted you to bring up that
fine.
I thought you were sexist
Fine. I'm not.
because I don't, and I mentioned that.
Excellent. So,
He is.
me and Paul love each other.
Yes.
So, what are we talking about?
Paul loves the sexist.
Yeah. No. So here, yeah. I don't know. I lost the point now.
AOC, she's great.
She's great.
dunking.
Okay, yes, because she's actually smart. Like, here's the thing. Like, it kills me when people are like, oh, like when all these conservatives are like, she's dumb. She wants to have a 70% tax rate. And I'm like, Steve Scalise doesn't even know what the fuck a marginal tax rate is. Like, he's been in Congress for like 30 years. And you're telling me, you're saying AOC is dumb? Get over yourself.
Oh yeah.
No,
see,
apparently
like-
nobody in the Republican caucus understands marginal tax rates.
Yeah.
And we're talking about AOC being dumb.
I don't worry about her actual policies making her look any certain way. What I worry about is that she is very confrontational in a fun way. I love it, Jeremy. I love all of it. It's just that when you do that, when you stand up against people, you can run into someone who is really good at making people look dumb. You put yourself out there. It makes you susceptible, right? That's where I'm
You know what
at.
I think?
Okay,
You
but
know what
here-
I think, Jason?
And I really don't want her to suddenly like ever not be taken
I think
seriously.
you hate women, Jason.
Yeah.
He doesn't hate women.
I know, but he's going on about this point. Nobody cares.
Oh
Nobody
no,
said you're sexist
Well, no,
in
no.
this
I'm Jeremy.
call.
Stop. You're on it now. I'm specifically just talking about what concerns me is the confrontational thing. Like I worry that she's gonna accidentally pick a fight with someone who's real good at working a crowd, and it's gonna be what we remember her for, and I'm scared of it because I really like her policy, especially her marginal tax thing. Big fan.
Okay, so here's the problem,
Yeah.
and this is what I mentioned last night.
Yeah.
The leading intellectual or conservative intellectual is Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro is fucking stupid.
I'd argue.
So,
Excuse my language.
Yes, don't say.
I would
say that.
argue that the best
I
intellectual.
apologize to all- I just want to make a point that I am trying to stop saying that word.
Which
Yeah,
one?
Bad.
it's fine.
Which word?
Right,
The R
know
word.
that.
Oh,
The R word.
Oh,
About him
fuck
being
I
the
you.
lead-
apologize
about-
if it offended anybody because I don't mean it that way.
I know. It's fine.
So I just
Okay.
want everybody to know that,
Yeah, I'll counter the leading intellectual thing as Ben Shapiro. I think his punchability makes him not eligible. I do. I mean, he's just.
He's very.
I mean, I think you have to
He's
give it.
very unlikable.
When you account for punchability,
Yeah.
I'll claim Ann Coulter.
No.
Name another one then.
Jordash B. Bepperpin.
That's a punchable name.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. His name's
Okay.
Bever. I bet he wears Argyle socks.
His name is Peterson.
I wear Argyle socks.
You do wear Argyle socks. You're pretty punchable, if I'm honest.
Ah, never been punched.
Oh well. You're not living.
No, I'm just faster. No, kidding.
Because you're usually far away because you have a sword.
That's true.
You have a sword.
Yeah, I handled that early.
Yeah. No. I mean, honestly, I think Peterson is actually, I wouldn't say smart, but smart maybe. He's definitely knowledgeable in a way that Ben Shapiro isn't.
Oh, how about this? How about this? Considerate. I would call
You're
him.
talking about
I feel like you have to call him considerate.
Who?
JP.
Oh no, he's
you
a dick.
You don't. No, I'm not talking about nice. I mean, like
Oh.
he considers things. He's considerate.
Oh.
Like I think he.
Eh.
Have you ever noticed that, like, the thing about Jordan Peterson?
I would
that's
argue
funny is
you're
that
one of your biggest problems with JP.
He'll, like,
Go ahead, Jeremy.
hold on.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
It's really funny because he'll, like, all day he'll say all these things like, girls wearing makeup to the workplace is super sexual and all these things that lead to, like, women shouldn't be in the workplace. But
Yeah.
he'll never make that claim.
No,
He'll be like,
no.
I wasn't
Ah.
saying
He
that.
stops just short
I
of it,
wasn't
but he always
saying
implies
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll never
the
make
thing he does.
that claim.
I don't think I got that. I know what you're talking about, and I didn't feel like that's where he was headed. What was the question? What was the interviewer's point? I remember seeing that. I'm not a huge JP fan, but I remember this specific issue with the makeup thing he does. I didn't get the sense that he was going in the direction.
I totally did. Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Because he does all the time.
Are you kidding? Especially on all other talks too that he's had. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
he does this too with IQ.
No. He's talking about something else. I remember this. I'm coming back with this later. I claim that is not what he was after. I'm not. I don't support everything he says for sure, but like I don't think that was what he was after.
No, totally is.
I think you're wrong on this one. Yeah.
I don't remember the exact words that were said, but it was basically like, "Hey, you said in the past that."
I watched it.
Okay,
Actually.
you recount it
when I was at your house, Jason, on the way to the card store, and like, yeah, it's 100%.
Oh yeah, there's the wiggle.
Yeah, it's
wiggle.
Anyway, I would say your biggest problem with JP is that he thinks himself to death.
No.
No?
My biggest problem is that he's deeply conservative and pretends that he's not. Except for when he doesn't, which is weird.
Well, because he's smart enough to know what claims he can make.
He does.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say this about me and Paul we're not going to do it right now, but we have a contention about Sam Harris. But
yes.
I'll say this for Sam Harris.
Both of us have a contention against him.
He's not. He hasn't. There's a canary in the coal mine for this stuff, and I claim that the canary in the coal mine is the classical liberal thing.
Oh yeah.
And Sam Harris isn't that. He's just like, I'm just a liberal. Like I just want free healthcare. I want. He just wants it down the line.
Mm-hmm. But he is part of the intellectual dark web.
I don't know what that means.
Oh man, we don't have time for that. Anyway, AOC is great. I think yes.
They sound dumb.
I think the fact that conservatives are trying to make her look dumb, and the things that they use to try to make her look dumb only makes them look more dumb.
We should clue Jeremy in on what the classical liberal thing about what I was talking about.
He probably knows.
I doubt it. You do it for him. You do it better than me. You'll do it better than me.
I think I've heard.
Oh, you know about all the. Oh
yeah,
man.
you'll do better than me. Yeah. So Jordan Peterson.
We'll get to it someday.
Does Ben Shapiro say it?
No.
I'd be super surprised if he didn't.
No. Ben Shapiro's very much no. It's
Ruben.
It's Ruben. Ruben's the main guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Ruben. Well, they both say it a lot. Both of them are very quick to do it.
But that's because Ruben's bankrolled by PragerU, and PragerU is the one that started that. Like, oh, actually, it's
doesn't
liberal
mean
to be this way.
The answer, Jeremy, is it doesn't mean anything.
No.
Yeah, like kind of like the.
Well, it does. It means you're conservative.
Well.
Have you heard regressive left?
I could be.
Yes.
Yeah, I could be convinced that Ruben was just wrong.
I mean, I'm more convinced that he's just corrupt, but either way, he's also wrong.
Yeah, because he.
Prager.
He's
Prager
also
is
stupid.
Yeah, to be fair, I keep forgetting that Prager's there. I keep forgetting that. He's got such a trusting face.
Yeah.
Well, he's really like.
There's a whole thing. If you go look up.
I bet he's soft.
If you look up Anna Kasparian, she's at TYT. She did a whole thing because he used to work at TYT before he went on his own. And Anna Kasparian talks about it, and because they were apparently really good friends, or she was really good friends with his husband, and of course she was good friends with him because they worked together. And so she finally did a whole thing a few months ago about how like, no, this is what he's really about, and I can tell you why. And she told like things about when he was there. So basically, she talked about how like he wanted 6 figures to do like a 30-minute show, and she was like, nobody here at TYT makes that kind of money.
Yeah.
Like, and she was talking about how he was lazy. He didn't that his husband did most of the work,
He's
and
gay?
he would just come in and read it.
Is Rube Dog gay?
Dave Rubin?
Dave Rubin gay?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's his whole claim of like, how can you say I'm a conservative because I'm gay? And I'm like, that's not really how that works, man.
Philo.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
like him more as a gay guy.
Hey, hold on.
Does that make me bad?
You know, hey Jason, stop.
Does that make me bad?
Paul, do you know?
No.
Paul, do you know Hassan from TYT?
Yep.
Do you watch his Twitch?
No. I'm not
He
a big
has
Hassan fan. I honestly used to be a TYT fan, and I'm just not anymore. I just kind of got tired of it. So what I'll also say is Anna Kasparian, though, she went on the Michael Brooks show, and she talked about this, and so you should check that out too, because that was interesting. And I do like Michael Brooks.
I think Hassan's gonna make me a communist. I need to stop watching.
Yeah. Hassan is.
I'm serious.
He's aggressive.
He is.
He's
but
very
I love
aggressive.
It.
I like it when I'm in a mood for it, but I'm just not in a mood for it that
Yeah,
often.
that's an attractive ass man too.
I'm not big on body hair, and he's a hairy dude.
Dude, Jason, tell me this guy isn't attractive. I'm gonna send this to you.
Okay. Anyway, the point we were talking about AOC, and the whole point was
sorry.
I think she makes conservatives look stupid when they try to say how stupid she is. And here's the thing: you know why they're doing this? Because they see her as a threat. They were talking about her at Davos this weekend. Like, you realize how ridiculous that is? Do you guys even know who Davos is? What Davos is?
Yeah, it's a company that makes Westworld.
No.
No, that's the guy in Game of Thrones.
No.
I go with Jeremy.
Okay. No. Davos is a conference, international conference of basically rich and elites.
He's a stern king, but a fair king.
Anyway, it's basically a big conference of rich people and government officials to get around and talk about how much better they are than the plebs. And basically where they debate policy without, the other 99% of the world there. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, they were talking about AOC a lot at Davos. That to me just tells me, okay, they feel threatened.
Ooh.
Like Bill Gates. So someone asked Bill Gates, and Bill Gates is a guy who I'm like, yeah, he's a billionaire, and I'm not a big fan of all the stuff Microsoft has done in its past, but like,
Wiggle.
but he's given lots of money to charity, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation does a lot of good work.
Back.
And so I was
He's
like,
giving back.
I don't hate Bill Gates. He's not like one of the worst people, but he did a whole thing. So a reporter asked him about like AOC's 70% tax rate thing. And he basically was like, he called the reporter communist. I was like, yikes.
Really?
Not really, but like he had simulated like,
What'd he
that
say?
kind of thing is like communist speak. It reminds me of that. And I'm like, man, these dudes feel threatened. These old dudes with money, they are not happy with her.
Absolutely, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, but
Probably
I
not.
wouldn't know because it doesn't threaten me.
I don't think it
Well,
could threaten me enough.
But the problem is that to get to that kind of wealth, it would.
I don't believe that.
I don't.
To
I
be
believe
worth $1 billion.
I believe you could be rich in
Multiple
Class A.
billions of dollars. Oh fuck.
Yeah, like
Multiple
used to be
billions of
the
dollars.
richest man in the world.
I
You think
believe-
you could be the richest man in the world by being willing to give that up?
Maybe.
No,
Maybe.
because it's contradictory.
No, maybe everybody has to give it up.
What?
What?
If everybody has to give up the same amount. You
Right.
can still be that. You can still.
Okay,
be
but
the one-
that's a conservative argument.
Yeah.
What?
That's literally
flat
the
tax-
conservative
that's a
argument
flat
for flat
tax rate.
taxes.
Oh,
Like,
I
argument
know.
for flat tax.
No. They're not. It's not linear. It's clearly not linear. There's a small percentage of people. It's just who are obscenely wealthy, and like. But even if you took 70, there are people so rich. If you took 70% of it, they'd still be richer than every other person. They'd be in the same set.
Okay, I feel like you don't understand marginal tax rates either.
Okay.
Because it's not 70% of your total income. It's 70% of your income above $10
Above
million.
10 million. Oh my God. Oh, it's so irritating. Yes, I did know that.
But didn't we used to
Even
have
that, I think it's too low. But
But if that's
have
but that being the
9%
case,
before?
if you took 70% of everything after 10 million, wank, thanks for the offset.
yeah,
Hey, I'm pretty sure we used to have 90% in like the 60s.
Yeah, we did.
94% was the highest it ever was, and it was in
Yeah,
it was
which
during
is
World War
like-
II. It was 92% under Eisenhower, and it eventually got
Wasn't
down
that
to
like one of-
70% by the time Reagan took office.
I claim the people at
Wasn't
the
that
top.
one of the biggest economic booms ever?
Yes, but to be fair to conservatives, and I'm very rarely fair to conservatives. That's a joke. I'm always fair to conservatives.
I'm
I
more
just don't
fair.
think they make good points. But to be fair to conservatives, it's a valid point that okay, yes, that was a time of economic boom, but it was also the time where half of Europe and most of Asia was decimated.
Yeah.
And the U.S. was the sole superpower, and that's just not the case anymore.
Yep.
So that's a valid point. So
I don't know that we owned the seas at that point, though.
what?
I don't think. I mean, I just don't think. I mean, I think we own the seas in a way now that we didn't then, before World War II.
Like the oceans?
Yeah, like the trade routes.
No,
we're
we
talking-
definitely don't now. I mean, first of all, it's all international water, but
Well,
second of all,
I don't
China
mean- okay.
dominates a lot of it.
I didn't. Do they
Now, yeah.
Where? How? What? Where?
Most like China is the #1 producer of goods in the world.
I know they have that big shipping thing, that big shipping port. It's bigger than anybody else's. Anywho, I don't know what we're talking about. I'm sorry.
We
I
keep
got lost.
losing it.
I
We've
keep
been
losing it.
meandering today.
I
But
think
it's
that's fine. I
It's
think we've
fine.
done good. We flowed really well. I
It's
liked it.
fine. I'm happy.
Oh, no, I do know, because you guys are bad at math. My point was that the people at the top, the set of people that we care about, if you took, yes, Paul, 70% after 10 million, they would still be in the same set of people. That wouldn't shift things about who was on top. So I don't buy it that you can't be rich and
Why'd you
generous.
just call me bad at math?
Not you, Paul.
I know. It's just
Paul
he
thinks
gets
it makes
so
it.
sensitive
Paul
about
thinks
math.
it makes a difference if you add an offset. It doesn't. Derivative's the same.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. What's the derivative of a constant, Paul?
0.
Okay, so you add a 0. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But what are you talking about derivatives for? We're not talking about changing. I mean, I guess we kind of are talking about changing wealth, but not that way. But
Yes.
because it's an income tax, not a wealth tax.
All right.
Yes, we are, because you could because it's still the yes, I am, because if you took all the people and you had a based on income, how much do you move, right? You took 70% of everybody, not just the top tip. I can't believe I'm doing linear algebra on this podcast. if you multiply everybody's income by 0.3 to find out what you'd have,
Yep.
right? It doesn't matter if you take out like a certain amount of that, right? The slope is still positive. Wherever you start your marginal tax, the growth is still the same in the curve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's your
Bush
point?
did
My point
9/11.
is, I wish you hadn't done that. Anywho, I love you.
I wish I hadn't done what?
The 10 million thing.
Oh.
Hey, guys,
What's up,
What?
baby?
are we done with this?
Yeah. I feel that. Well, actually, I do want to ask. What do you think the top marginal tax rate should be?
Oh, me or Jeremy?
I mean, both of you.
Jeremy, go ahead.
I don't have I am not an economist. I don't have any opinion that's worth.
I'm
any
certain
while,
I can
but
answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go with 80%, I guess.
I think there's a
don't
better way
know.
to do this. I think we can do this
Mm-hmm.
more heuristically, and it'll feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna borrow a joke
Mm-hmm.
from Louis C.K.
That's problematic.
And I think not Louis. I'm sorry, Louis Black.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's not problematic. A lot of his jokes are great.
Just at this time period. Anyway, go ahead.
So Louis Black,
Who is great?
once said that if he were filthy rich, what he would buy was a personal ball washer. So it'd be a lovely man
person?
lovely
Yeah.
man or lady.
Yeah.
He would pay them
Yeah.
dental and health insurance.
Yeah.
And their job would be to keep his balls clean.
Yeah.
Scrub, rinse, scrub,
Yeah.
rinse.
I think I've heard this.
Yeah,
joke
so it's a
before.
great joke. He's talking about Enron. He's like they were trying to one up each other with money. You know what
Yeah,
I'd do?
yeah.
I'd buy a ball washer.
Yeah.
No, I say if you can afford to keep a ball washer on staff,
Yep.
you're pretty close to enough.
You're too rich. Okay,
You're
but
pretty-
again, we're talking about wealth, not income. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my answer, and it's real easy. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
100%.
Ooh, God, Paul, I don't.
100%. That should be the top marginal tax rate. We should be setting a maximum income above which it is there's just no need for it.
It's the top marginal tax rate by definition, Paul, because you can't pull more money out than you're making.
What?
It's the top marginal tax rate by definition. 100% of something is
Oh
the
yeah,
top.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. But
I
it's
know.
not what we have now.
You're saying that like there are people who exist who their marginal tax rate should be 100%.
I think because I think people look at taxes the wrong way.
Maybe after $1 billion or something.
Yeah.
That's what
People-
he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
that's
10,
what I'm saying.
not 10 million.
Oh no, I'd probably set it lower than 10 million. Actually,
I bet I could find a use for 10
nobody,
million.
even billionaires, don't make $1 billion in a year.
I understand. But the marginal tax you're talking about is the $10th million in a year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's very few people that even in the 1% that make $10 million in a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the 0.01%.
Ah.
So that's why I'm saying I put it even lower. Like I'd be tempted to say, okay, because here's the thing. People who are listening to this who are like flabbergasted about what I just said. 1944, FDR, sent his budget proposal to Congress. It included a top marginal tax rate of 100% on all income above $25,000. Now, in today's money, I believe that's approximately $3 to $4 million. And you know what he got in return? Congress gave him 94%. So that's why you say 100%. Because, one, it's a good negotiating position. But here's my second argument. Okay? People look at taxes the wrong way, particularly marginal tax rates. People look at taxes as a way for the government to earn income. And that's certainly part of it. Okay? But when you get to the point where you're talking about the top marginal rate, the impact of the top marginal rate, to me, well, not even just me, I mean, this is economics, right? Is there's a part where, you know how they always talk about, like, hey, if you raise taxes, it discourages people from working, right? At the point where you're making $5 million in a year, you're not getting that by working more hours, right? Like, that just comes from the fact of your position and your continued wealth and the amount of
Right, you're not
stocks
putting
that
any
you
more work
hold,
to get
right?
That much more money.
That's not coming from you working harder.
Paul, I hear you. I'm on your side.
So at that point, what you're talking about there, if you make the argument that taxes dissuade people from working harder, then I make the argument that taxes dissuade people from giving themselves higher incomes. And what happens if a CEO decides, hey, if I give myself a higher income and the government's going to take 100% of it, why would I do it? I will instead invest it in, let's say, greater salaries for my employees, capital investment for my company, things like that. It is as much a way to influence the distribution, the pre-tax distribution of income, as it is a way for the government to raise revenue.
I hear you.
And the drop in top marginal tax rates is directly correlated with the rise of income inequality. And the increase in marginal tax rates after the Great Depression is directly correlated with the drop in income inequality.
I'm fine with your socialist utopia.
That's not socialism, man.
I'm joking. But all I need to sign on to whatever you're talking about, which I love, is in Trump's America, you ought to be able to make enough money, be allowed to make enough money to afford and to hire and finance your own personal ball washer. As long as you can do that, that's fine.
Okay, but a ball washer is only going to cost like what, $50K a year?
Yeah, you just
$100K a year?
Just show me the numbers, baby, and I'll be there.
No,
That's where I'm at.
nobody needs a personal ball washer. I disagree 100%.
You don't have to buy a personal ball washer, Paul. I'm just saying there are creative ways to spend that amount of money.
Well, first of all, you're not buying anyone. You're employing someone.
Sorry, employing a ball washer.
Yeah.
Okay, the person who is a ball washer is bought. I don't know what.
No.
I'm joking. I'm silly.
You want to see something to blow your mind?
What's that?
Look at that. Look at that nonsense. Oh, it didn't work.
You see his butt wiggle?
Yeah, I did see his butt wiggle. So this world introduces a new concept called supercharge, and it helps you jump farther, and that becomes really important later on in later missions.
Okay, it's been an hour and a half.
It's been an hour and a half.
How much more is left in the game?
Oh, a lot. We're probably only halfway through.
Oh, it's solid. All right, let's call it here. Let's call it here.
Well, I got to finish this world first.
You have to.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't leave it halfway through. That's not how these things work, man. You know how that's.
What
that's
would
not how these
Dad
things
think
work.
if you said that, Jason?
I don't want to say it on air.
If you said what?
If I finish something halfway.
Oh. Oh wait, I need to start up here. That's the key. That's what I missed. So watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna take this one. And I'm gonna take this one. See, look, now he's got purple trails. Watch, and I go, whoom. And then I was supposed to glide there. I didn't.
I believe you.
But see, it lets me jump farther. It becomes really important later on. Becomes really important. Okay, so I only had one other topic, and so we'll go ahead and talk about that here, which was I want to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. So this week was Martin Luther King Jr. week, and our good old Vice President, Mike Pence, he did the really smart thing of comparing Donald Trump to Martin Luther King Jr. Did you see this?
I didn't. I heard about. I saw the headline. I didn't bother reading it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because Mike Pence sucks.
And boring and dumb.
Oh God, why can't I make it? Anyway, but basically the gist of it was like, oh, Trump wants to build a wall And that's like Martin Luther King Jr. Because Martin Luther King Jr. believed in doing things through the legislative process.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, Trump is like MLK.
Mm-hmm.
To which I say to Mike Pence, "Fuck you, sir." That's what I say to that.
Sure.
Okay. So here it's part of a bigger problem. That's what I'm going to say, which is the whitewashing of Martin Luther King Jr. Now, there's an interesting article over at Vox. It was an interview. They interviewed. She's a professor of I think history, like civil rights, things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's talking about it. Oh, look at that! I got an achievement. Egg hunt. Oh, that's nice. Anyway, but she's talking about it, and she's talking about the whitewashing of Martin Luther King Jr. And it's great, and you should read it because it's so true. Because the thing I hate the most is when you see, I think it was Ben Shapiro, but maybe not. It was one of these people who made the ridiculous claim that, or maybe been Dave Rubin, if Martin Luther King Jr. was alive today, he would be a conservative.
Ooh, God.
To which I just want to say, this is what happens when you whitewash a person's legacy. So people are all like, why doesn't Black Lives Matter act more like Martin Luther King Jr.? And it's like, hey, they do. That's kind of the whole deal. And people look back on Martin Luther King Jr. like he was super popular at the time. He was not popular. People hated him. White people hated him. FBI invested him as a communist.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But we've whitewashed it to be like, oh no, Martin Luther King Jr. is popular because he was super reasonable. He wasn't a radical. And I was like, the dude was tracked by the FBI and he was assassinated in a hotel.
No one thought that.
No, but they think it today.
Oh, I know, but no one thought that at the time.
No one thought that at the time. And the interesting thing I find about this is, so he was assassinated after the Voting Rights Act had passed, after the Civil Rights Act had passed.
Yeah.
And so people were, so it's like he'd already done a lot of the work, but you realize what he was doing when he was assassinated. He was doing what he called the Poor People's Campaign, which is where he was going around the country arguing against economic inequality, for workers' rights, and for he was protesting the Vietnam War. That's when he got assassinated.
Yeah.
Not when he was fighting for desegregation and stuff like that, but when he started turning on poor people. And this was kind of takes it back to my point with AOC is, like, rich people, they don't, they'll let you go on with your hey, stop being racist and stuff like this. But when you start threatening their money, that's when they really call you a radical. That's when they get scared. The same thing happened to MLK. And so because of that, they've whitewashed MLK into being something that he wasn't, which is this work within the system, conservative minded guy who wanted small incremental progress and stuff like that. I hate that.
I just can't. It's just really hard for me to give a shit about that position. You say I believe Ben Shapiro says it. I think
it was Dave Rubin that said it.
Even so, I can hear either of them saying it, and I just don't. It's hard to care. I mean, why would you say that?
You're fixing on the wrong point.
I know.
You're fixating on the wrong point, which is not about what Ben Shapiro or Dave Rubin says. It's about people don't understand how radical MLK was and how he was disliked. And so when people criticize other civil rights movements like Black Lives Matter, and they say act more like MLK, it's like they are acting like MLK. This is what MLK would have done. This is what they're doing. And none of you understand it.
No, I'm here. I'm right there with you. No. I was saying I don't understand. It's hard to identify with people who feel that way about MLK. I mean, they were beating them in the streets. Anywho.
So anyway, well, that kind of just derailed my whole thought process.
I'm sorry.
I forgot where I was now.
I don't understand why conservatives think that. I don't get it. I don't know how they get away with it. How do they get away with it?
No, because the real story of MLK is threatening. That's why they whitewash it. So there's a whole story. Anyway, in this interview, she talks about it was Ronald Reagan, essentially, right? That Ronald Reagan didn't support Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a holiday, but he came to support it because it made him look like he was racially sensitive. But then he didn't actually do anything about it.
Hashtag South Africa.
But yeah. And he didn't actually do anything about it. And in fact, she pointed out, hey, the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. Doesn't mention segregation or race once. in any of his quotes that they post on his memorial.
No joke.
Yeah. Like, this is part of what they have done.
Behind you, there's stuff.
I know. I was looking at something.
Oh, okay.
This is part of what they've done to convince people that Martin Luther King Jr. was different than what he was. And it's a way to dissuade activists today. That's my point. And that's why it's frustrating, because it's not the conservatives who are doing it in bad faith. They know the real answer. They're doing it in bad faith, and they have a reason why. What it is it convinces moderate people that the people that are fighting for justice today are radicals, right? That they should do it the MLK Jr. way, and then that's not really real. Hey, Jeremy, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, okay. I just felt like we missed you. We lost you. So.
No, you're good.
How many more coins we got, Paul?
I don't know. Hold on. I'm frustrated. You guys don't share my enthusiasm.
It's been a lot of coins. I liked it.
It's gems.
I'm sorry. I was really out of it for a minute. I really do apologize.
There's no comment. There's no commentary on my discussion about Martin Luther King Jr.
I'm so sorry.
That's what I was trying to say. It's just hard for me to identify with. I mean, they're just wrong and stupid and awful, and I don't know why they would bother doing that. I know I understand your position on why they would do it. I get that, but like, who does that? Who raised these?
Everybody.
People?
That's my point. This is a society. When I grew up, this is what I thought of Martin Luther King Jr. I thought like he was liked at the time, and then like, because he was like reasonable and all that stuff. And it wasn't until I grew up and became a liberal, I was like, oh no, he actually was pretty radical. Like, he fought for laws of justice, not just racial desegregation, but economic justice and all this stuff. And nobody told me that when I grew up, because I grew up in the South.
Yeah, I grew up in the South, but I guess I did know that the conservatives were on the wrong side of all the black issues.
No, I knew that. Well, okay.
I
was on the wrong side.
Yeah, I just knew that
At
they
the
were.
time.
I just knew they were on the. They used to be on the wrong side of all of them, and it was always the conservatives. And I knew that.
Really ironic.
But go ahead. What?
Something really ironic about you saying that. Our cousin, he who won't be named, the little one, little to you, not to me.
I know.
Yeah. So he actually was the first person who ever I knew that liked a Democrat. Did you know that?
He
said
Dad likes Lieberman.
He was good.
Oh.
No.
God, the worst Democrat.
When I was a kid, he was the first person I'd ever met that liked a Democrat.
Oh, really?
He liked John Kerry.
Who doesn't like John Kerry?
I didn't like John Kerry.
Little Kerry in you.
I didn't like John Kerry.
We were like 10, so he had no idea why.
You want to know something? In high school, I had a W bumper sticker.
Ooh. Do you know?
Yeah.
You know what you call a naked John Kerry?
No.
Harry Carey.
Somehow I feel like he's not hairy.
I like to think he's
I've never gotten the vibe that he's a hairy person.
I like to think it's all curly and thick.
No, I never got that. Look how nice his hair.
That man,
he's groomed.
That man's a beast.
No, he's groomed. He takes care of his body hair.
I bet John Kerry smashes. I bet he's like an animal.
That dude fucks.
Yeah. Can't argue with that. How do I? Here we go. Found it. I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm done.
Yay!
No, where's the exit? I forgot where the exit is.
It's alright. Just follow left-hand wall.
Where's the exit? I was so confused. Well, you can look at the map down there. It's not as easy as following the left-hand wall because the map is kind of not organized that way. Where's the exit? Okay. Well, anyway, while I look for the exit, I'm gonna wrap it up. So, this has been episode 18-ish, depending on what videos we've deleted, which we haven't deleted any so far. But anyway, of Don't Call Me Pretentious, our DCMP Rambling podcast.
Yeah.
As always, I'm Paul.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeremy.
If you like our content, please subscribe, and like, and share, even if you want to. And also, be sure to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/don'tcallmepretentious. We stream our recording live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. roughly. We've been pretty good so far. And then on Thursdays at roughly 10 p.m., we record our reviews of Star Trek Discovery, the latest episode. And then that goes live as soon as it can. This podcast goes live on YouTube, youtube.com, Don't Come Over Pretentious, at 9 a.m. on Sundays, generally speaking. And then give us a follow on social media, facebook.com/Don't Come Over Pretentious and twitter.com/@DCMPretentious.
And go follow AOC.
And go follow AOC.
And don't forget Jason's a sexist.
Yeah.
No, he's not sexist. Don't do that.
All right. I love you.
Go follow AOC. Her clapback game is strong on Twitter. It's great.
I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.